Now that idea of like really wanting to fit a new environment, I can totally relate to that. I feel the same way. I felt that way in Colombia, and I felt that way in other cultures that I've had exposure to as well. Was that something new for you when you went to Argentina, or were you always the kind of person that wanted to fit in with different groups of people?
It was a new thing to me. It was definitely a new thing to me. I don't know. As Canadians, we all have our own family ties, different places. So no, to me, it wasn't necessarily about here. I don't know, because I don't know. I feel like I'm a local. I'm a local Canadian. We're all living our own life, so there was nothing to kind of integrate into. But going to Argentina, it's just such a different world. It's such a different culture. Everything is mind-bogglingly different. It's like you said. I've said it myself 100 times. It's a different planet. You feel like you're in a different planet. So to me, the challenge of integrating in there, that's what pushed me. And here as in Canadian, I feel like a Canadian, everyday life, but I like the challenge of seeing what kind of chaos I can bring up that day.
So like if I were to go to Argentina right now and want to fit in with the locals, what are like the top 3 things that I should do?
So first thing is try to learn their accent, or at least a little bit of their slang, because that kind of shows them. The Argentinians are very, very patriotic, right? They love Argentina with all their heart. So many of the Argentinians I've met, despite all the economic chaos and whatever's going on in Argentina, they said they'd never want to leave Argentina. They love it, right? So to show them that you appreciate their country, to them, is such an amazing thing, and they will accept you in even further. So like I said, when I went there, I started to learn their slang. Every time I say I'm going on the bondi, voy a tomar el bondi. It's bondi is slang for bus.
Okay.
And as soon as I said that, the big smile pops on their face and like, oh, you're learning our slang. And it made them so much more happy. And they could tell. They could tell that I was making an effort to join into their culture because they love it. And it made me love it that much more just because the people were so happy about it. So that's number one. Learn at least some of the slang and show them that you want to be a part of their best country in the world. The next thing is if you want to try to fit in, is learn how to make mate. Mate is like it's like a social crutch. It's to go to the park and drink a mate is like, it's more than just sitting down with a friend and having a drink. It's an excuse to go out there and just connect with each other, to just relax, talk to each other, share a mate, because everybody's sharing the same straw, which for us Canadians, it's kind of weird. We don't
Right.
really do that. It's
Now, the mate is like a tea, right?
yeah, so it's like a loose leaf tea, very traditional to Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay, because that's where the leaf grows. It's like a loose leaf tea. It's super, super famous in Argentina. You can't walk around the street without seeing somebody drink their mate. So you have a special looking cup. You have a special thermos. They call it a thermo. It's like water, but it pours a little bit nicer. And you just share it around. You share it around with people. There's a thermo monger who's in charge of the thermo, and everybody passes. There's a full process to the whole thing, and you can't touch the straw because it'll mess things up. I don't know. There's a big culture around it, and it's mostly about sharing with each other. And the reason that happens is because, from what I heard, is first the Europeans who settled there were doing it, and then the natives wanted to try, but they couldn't afford. So everybody just kind of shared the same one. Okay. And then that's kind of what developed that culture of sharing everything. So one of my favorite things, even if it was just by myself, was to go to a park, drink a mate, and it's just nice. It's just nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
something that you would make at home and then take out. Like you wouldn't go and buy it at like a cafe or something.
Yeah, because you have your own parts to it. You have your own cup, which is called a mate. It can be made of a bunch of different materials. You have a water bottle, which is called a thermo. You have to bring like the actual leaves, which is called sherba, or if you said it somewhere else, yerba. But to me, that sounds weird because the Y is a sh in Argentina.
Right.
Yeah. So you bring all that, you make it, and it was a great first date. I did it a bunch of times because A, it shows them that I'm connecting with their culture, and B, you guys talk, you share a mate, and you just connect about a lot more. So that's number 2, to become more Argentinian. And number 3 is to just honestly slow down, calm down. Don't be in a rush. Don't show up on time. It's like life life doesn't have to be a rush. And that's what they also taught me there. Now, that has its downsides, obviously, because you don't show up to places on time. People can get annoyed. But that's what I noticed too. It's just you got to slow down. Life is short. Just enjoy the moment. You know, one of the things they do there is if you want to go to the club, or a boliche is what they call it, they open at 2 a.m., right? That's when people actually go there.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
it's insane. And I did it I don't know, it takes a toll, you know, it takes a serious toll. But the reason they do that is because you're not rushed. You know, as Canadians, I can't tell you how many times I got home from work, had to change, you know, ran to my buddy's house to pre, and you know, we had to run because there's a big, massive line. Everything was like boom, 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 boom. But there, and I'm just using the club as an example, but there's a lot of different ways to do this. But everybody's just relaxing. There's no rush. You show up, you know, you have your fun, and then eventually you go, and everybody's just, you know, closer, less worried. And there's so many different ways that Argentinians just slow down. They don't take food to go. I made a YouTube vlog once where I was walking. I was like, okay, I'm going to eat this and you know, go here while I eat this. And a bunch of comments said, you shouldn't walk on the street and eat your food. You know, it's rude. You should just, you know, sit down, eat it there. And maybe it's a little bit extreme, but that's just an example of slowing down in Argentina.
Wow. Okay. So learn the local slang, drink mate, share with others, and slow down. Yeah, those are good. I've never tried mate. I've seen it in videos. A lot of like Argentinian content creators kind of feature it in videos, but it's not a thing in Colombia. People don't drink it there. I mean, Colombia is known for coffee, right?
Yeah.
Which is good for me because I really like coffee. But like, does it taste like a tea that you would have in Canada, or does it have a unique flavor?
It's got a unique bitter flavor. It's like anything, an acquired
It's like bitter?
taste. Yeah. It's an acquired taste. A lot of people to start have to put sugar into the leaves.
Okay.
I wish I had one on me because I brought a whole bunch of mates home. The cups, I brought a whole bunch of the leaves. I brought 4 kilos of the leaves when I came back home. Like my suitcase was full. I left clothes back home or back in Argentina. I said, nope, this is more important. You can get it here, but for double, triple the price.
Right.
Just because it's imported. But yeah, it's like a coffee. And I drink both, right? I haven't fully replaced my coffee with mate, but it gives you a caffeine boost. It's bitter. Some people put sugar. It's a little bit frowned upon because, you know, you should just drink your mate, you know, but some people put a little bit of sugar just to make it a bit easier, ease into it. But the thing I like about it most is it takes an hour to drink. You know, a coffee I can finish in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but with a mate, you have a liter of hot water and you just pour it, you sip the cup, and then you do whatever, you pour it again, you sip the cup, and it takes a bit longer. So
right, which is a part of the slow down, the third part.
Exactly.
You have to slow down to drink a mate. You can't pound it. You can't chug it.
It's really hard to drink on the street. I've tried it, trying to walk and pour your mate pour your water into the mate. It's hard.